Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes to help you understand why everything's playing out the way that it is. Very important when you're dealing with a person that wears masks, create facades and illusions. We want to know why we attract that person into our life. What is the spiritual significance so that we can not just shape shift the energy of the connection, but actually heal ourselves? Because a lot of time, all the time, actually, if we're attracting someone that's imbalanced, someone that has a lot of toxic behaviorisms, is because there are lessons that we need to learn. And it's usually about valuing ourselves, to be honest with you. All right, so let's see what the energy is for today. And also know that anything of any importance, including the word of the video, you can find in the description box. All other important information is there too. But because the word of the video is always the word that I say in the right in the beginning of the video, sometimes people forget. I know I forget a lot of times. So instead of having to rewind the video, you can just go to the description box. You can find my website link. You can find my coaching program link, all other important information and directions if you win a reading with me, what you need to do. All right, let's see what the underlining energy is. Um, criticism. Criticism. You know, I feel like you can't you're in connection with someone that you can't really even have a conversation with because everything that they hear is a criticism. It's like, and it makes it really impossible to have a connection with this person because they never want to take accountability for how they treat you. They never want to take your feelings into consideration. So it's a way that, they put the focus back on you. It's not about what they did, it's about what you're saying to them or how you're saying what you're saying, that you're not sugarcoating what you're saying to them. But if you sugarcoat what you say, to this person, then they pretend that they don't understand what you're trying to say because you're not being specific. So being specific, being direct, then the person's like, well, you're criticizing me. So it's almost like you're like, it's too difficult to be in a relationship with you. Because what you know is that this person's committed to not being in a relationship with you. They want an attachment. They want you to be attached to them, but they don't want to give anything because they don't. It's almost like a play on words. So it's like, oh, I'm going to instantly engage and I'm going to be like cutesy and flirty with you, but I'm never going to give you anything. And if you call me out on this surface behavior, well, then, I see it as you're criticizing me. I'm seeing as if you're being rude. Again, where really this person's insecure. But they're not just insecure, they're stubborn. So you're dealing with someone that has a very low self-esteem, but is gonna be stubborn about it. And so you took your power away. Now this person's obsessed because they know that they pushed you to a place of being intolerant. You're like, I'm not putting up with your bullshit. It's like you're not giving anything. I know exactly what you're doing. You wanted to create an attachment with me. You want me to chase after you. You want to siphon my energy, but you don't want to give me anything. It's again like being in a connection with you, you knew is again, it's like, or being in a connection at all. Doesn't even need to be a romantic one, it could be a friendship. It's like lonely because the person doesn't give anything. They only think about themselves. They're selfish. When a person doesn't give you anything, they're not giving any time, they're not pouring into you, they're not thinking about you. And what you know is that they had no problem betraying you. They kept the connection in a place of disequilibrium, which is really imbalanced, thinking that the connection would be enough. You got impatient. You got impatient. this person expected the nostalgia to be enough. But what they know is that, they pushed it. They pushed it to a point where, like, listen, you're angry. You're angry. And they stayed away from you because they didn't want to be blamed. Again, I feel like they tried to blame you for this. It's like, oh, you make things difficult, or why do you have to complicate things? Again, they don't want you to have any boundaries. They don't want you to, hold to a certain standard. This pisses this person off is what I feel like. So again, it's because they hold to shame. There's a person that has a lot of shame. So they're very prideful. So instead of fixing the connection, they neglected the connection. And now they're in a place of regret because they know that you see them as a narcissist. And that's really what it is. You see this person as a narcissist because you're like, you're not caring about me at all. You won't let me have a voice. You won't let me say anything, like say anything. I say to you, I'm telling you how I feel, and you're again touchy, getting all touchy, which is just a behaviorism for them to avoid. They'll do everything and everything to avoid, but they'll again try to keep you hooked. So how do they keep you hooked? They create a very negative attachment. That's why they don't bring anything to the actual connection. It's again, and it's really because this person's like down deep inside, they don't really know. I would say they don't know who the hell they are. And there's a sense that you really do know who you are, where this person's lost. And so being around you triggers their insecurity, where this person doesn't know what to do because they don't have a purpose. They have no purpose. So it's something, again, connected to your job, something that's connected to who you are that this person is very jealous of. It's what gives you your power. It's what gives you, you know, your flair. Everybody knows you for it. Everyone connects to you because of it. And this person is very jealous of it. Where again, they wanted you to be dutiful to their energy. So this goes along again. When a person doesn't know who they are, they have no purpose. Well, what happens? Then they look at everybody else in their life, like their boyfriend or their girlfriend, or people that are in their life that could be even a sibling or a child or a parent, and they assume that that person needs to come in and fix their life. It's like your life is good. I like what your life looks like. I don't have a direction. I don't have a purpose, but I like what you do. And, I want you to fix me. I want you to give me your energy. And I feel like you are someone that's like a healer. So you did start to, but what you saw was that it was an empty well and that you were getting nothing in return. If anything, this person was again not emotionally giving you anything, just creating an attachment, like I said. And it's all because they don't fit in anywhere. Again, they don't know who they are. I'm not saying that they don't create a persona to make you perceive that they're stronger and better than they actually are. But again, because they don't have an identity, everything that you say to this person, they see it as like you're confronting them, that you're again, like treating them like an enemy where you're not. It's the fact that they have everything to hide. And so it actually triggers them. They can only be with people on a lower vibration. I'm not saying that they don't admire what you do, that they don't like what they do, but what we're going to see is we're going to see a person that will, again, want to take on your identity because they're not capable. This person just, like I said, is not capable. They will never be accountable. And unfortunately, again, avoidance, everything that this person does is always reverted back to like avoidant. It doesn't matter how they avoid. It's like I feel like they check out because it makes them seem like they don't really need you emotionally, right? Because hey, if they're partying, they're drinking a lot, they're smoking a lot, they're suppressing their feelings. So when you tap into this person, you're not feeling them, right? You're not feeling them as much. You know that they're again detached. So they're again, their thoughts and their minds and their emotions are all directed on partying. So they hoped that that would trigger you into like wanting to re-engage with them because they're not going to be accountable. They're not going to be accountable because they don't even know who the hell they are. So, because they don't know who they are, there's an emptiness, they're like an empty well, they're a narcissist. How do they get their energy? By somebody, anybody, it doesn't really matter who, which will be, again, dutiful, give too much of their energy because, again, this person feels inadequate. They feel like there's something wrong with them. And so they're dishonest because of the trauma. And what you know is that that because of whatever they went through in the past, it keeps like playing out as chaos within their relationships. So what you know is that that means that they always have to be dominant. That's the way they're always going to be unfair. They're going to put you in a place of trying to feel, again, powerless. And again, where you would assume that they were going to change, but what you would know is that you've gone through this situation many times before. You're stuck in a karmic loop with them because they, again, don't want to, again, see it. They don't want to, they want to ignore you. They want to ignore your feelings, again, to keep you in a place of, if you didn't know your worth, then it would keep them in a place of feeling more superior. Because if you don't know your worth and you really have feelings for them, then maybe you're going to give more. No, what happened was you became resentful. You called this person's bluff. You saw their abuse and you got tired of it. You got tired of the avoidance. And that's, and really it was the stonewalling, which again is the avoidance, which was the tactic that they tried to use and they tried to use to get you to actually do something, to get a reaction. They don't care what the reaction is. That's what the problem is. Where it doesn't really matter what they're going to do, but like I always like to, because again, it's like we like to see where this person's ego is, what they really think, whether they really feel anything. Uh, where it's like there was like again, there was someone interfering in our connection. So again, for some of you, again, that's what it was. And another thing is the long distance in the relationship where I feel like this person has to put in effort. They were lazy. Um, I feel like they do have sexual fantasies about you. And there is a part of this person that knows that they didn't treat you well. But the truth of the matter is, what it really does come down to is this person is intimidated by you. And that's what I said. It's like they're intimidated by you. So there's someone that would have very strong feelings for you, where you do make them want to be a better person, but they don't know how to be a better person. So again, there's a fine line between love and hate. This person is not on your vibration. Here it is. You're strong, you're secure, you're happy, you're interactive, people like you, you're happy, you know your path, and now again, this person um is like, I feel like would want to jump on your bandwagon. I'm not gonna lie. Because again, this person feels like they're not good enough for you. So they would want to like almost become you or match your energy. But part of that is because they feel empty without you, and they feel empty without you because this person doesn't have an identity. So again, you have such a big light, you have such a big like energy about you where people like you, you're busy in your life. Even if you're like, all I do is I go to work, I come home and I have a few friends or whatever, it's like that's more than this person. You feel connected, where this person feels empty. So they continue to like give into temptation. And they continue to like sabotage the connection where they wish they could take back certain words, but it never does because they are only comfortable in a one-sided relationship. There's someone that is insecure because they don't have an identity. So do they have feelings? Yes, but their feelings are always in contradiction with them also feeling that they're not good enough for you. And that's because they know they didn't treat you right. It's that simple. They didn't feed this energy. They thought that they were gonna gamble. That's what they thought. I'm gonna take a gamble and I'm gonna, think that I'm going to get what I want because that normally happens, but that's not what happened. What happened is again, we're not going to be dominated by just sex. You saw that this person feels inadequate, that they tried to make you jealous. And again, someone that tries to make you jealous and take unnecessary risks with, again, being stuck in their old habits of drinking, drugging, talking to other people, all because it's all about their self-image. So they don't like, again, to be in commitment. They want to be in control. They want to be the authority. They're not strong enough for you. Again, for you to be your true self and really live authentically the life that spirit, the universe intended for you to have. Again, your walk, this person would be paranoid because they need inner child healing. If anything, they would betray you. And it's because of their own trauma. And it's a sense of, hey, if you move further along, life is going to take you away from them. So this person doesn't want to be rejected. They would be in the place of stress all the time. And then the relationship is all about what it looks like to outside people. It's the illusion of what they want people to see it. But really, what it would be is a contract because this person is not on your vibration. They like what you do, but they would want to utilize all your energy for themselves because of the lack. So, again, you saying anything to them, all they see it is judgment, like you're judging them, but really it's their way of manipulation. And that's what it is. It's like you're in a high vibration, you're going to be making things happen because that's what happens when you're giving and receiving of love, when you know when you're on your path, you know, well, it's gonna amplify this person's any money problems that they have. They're gonna project a lot of their trauma. Again, they're going to be in a place of anxiety. So you trying to use your voice, this person will always again try to avoid it any which way that they can. And and that's the thing. That's a person that doesn't really want to do their healing, doesn't know where to start, wants you in their life, but doesn't just want you in their life for you, wants you in their life for everything that you can do for them. So this person would actually be like a parasite. Again, a karmic contract. And because again, they don't want to heal the trauma that was caused in inner child wounds. So they're always going to feel a place of lack as long as they don't know who they are. So they're always going to try and make it into a one-sided relationship where, again, they'll give in to temptation all the time. They give in to their addictions all the time. But that's because, again, they're not strong within themselves. So we have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? What is the whole spiritual significance of the connection? Because you're a mirror of whom what comes into your life, right? So what is the reason for it? And so we could say again, card number one, inner child wound frustration. Card number two, support. Card number three, neglect. And number four, sing. Joy. Friendship. One, two, three, four, five, six. So I'm feeling like, believe it or not, your trauma didn't just come from your inner child, like they came from your inner child wounds, began growing up in a family, but I also believe a friend. It was more like a frenemy that created it. You see this friend and they're like this like friendship where whenever it's in quotes, what we know that it means like more like a frenemy, someone that gets all close to you, but tries to sabotage you, tries to take what's yours, someone that's jealous of you, someone that's too much in competition with you. You see, this person would exactly be that. You see? Because here it is, you're confident. You're in a high vibe. You're making things happen. This person, again, is like they couldn't handle it. They can't handle it unless you take the back seat. How are you going to take the back seat to creating your life? This is your thing. This person wants you to abandon what you're doing and almost help them to become you. It's a very weird energy, and it's not really a friendship. And what this person did was because you wouldn't do it, they didn't like the fact that you weren't doting on them, you weren't chasing them, so you weren't making them feel comfortable to even get around your business or whatever you were doing. They again wanted to come in fast. They wanted to again to do that, but once you didn't do it, what happened? Well, then this person thought, well, I'll neglect you, just like again all the other times when that friend tried to get into your life and they did whatever damage that they did, but you didn't allow them to continue. You had boundaries. Well, now I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to act like it's your fault, even though it's clearly this person's fault. So again, the support, you also had that in childhood where love was transactional, where love was like only if you gave of your energy, which all the time meant that you were giving up your joy, that life was frustrating. You weren't allowed to use your voice. So what Spirit says to reparent, we know it's all about to give yourself the support for you to pour into yourself, and that's what you're doing. And understand the friends come from when you're interactive doing what you're doing. This person wants to come back into your life after they did whatever they did, that they weren't in your life because they matched your energy. They might have matched your energy before you felt confident. And you might say, well, why am I getting this person now? Well, because the imprint of betrayal is still on there from growing up with no support and growing up with a frenemy that robbed your joy, that made you perceive that someone stole your joy. And so life was frustrating. And really, Spirit saying that's why. And also, we're going to pull three from this deck, which is the first card out, to listen to your own soul, to listen to yourself, to let your higher self to guide you, to go to experience, like you have to experience the good and the bad, so that you can learn and grow. Again, this situation again was to help you learn and grow, to help you evolve. And to learn about loving yourself. Like I said, whenever you pull a person to you like this and you entertain them, Spirit says this person never gave a lot. They never gave a lot. It's like, yes, there was a connection, but they never gave a lot. You noticed it over time. As you began to heal, you really noticed it. This person didn't realize that, but they thought that they were going to stonewall you. Yes, they checked out, they drank, they partied, they lost track of time, but they didn't think about you. They're thinking about you now because of everything that's going on in your life. So you look real good. So you would look real good hanging off their arm. But that's not love. That's an attachment. That person needs you because they don't know who they are. So their love is conditional. And being that their love is conditional, it would only be a karmic energy that would put you back into that wounded inner child like wound that you had, where there was no support, where you were neglected, where love was transactional. Unless you give of yourself, unless you are dutiful, unless you are so self-sacrificing, where Spirit says, no, this is about being true to yourself, loving yourself, cultivate the deep self-love with acceptance and compassion that honor yourself. And you honor yourself by not abandoning yourself for some person that, again, yeah, now they like everything, but they're looking at you as a whole. It's not like they fell in love with you. Of course you look good, but they didn't want to give you that respect to begin with. So anyone can come back and say that they're sorry. Anyone can do this. It's like, of course. Spirit says, no, you already know it's not about being with this person. It's about, again, loving yourself. And Spirit leaves us off with one more message, which is believe and belief. Believe in yourself and the beauty of life and the goodness of God, that you have the power to fulfill your dreams alone. You don't need this person, is what Spirit's saying. Like they would have you convinced over time that you needed them, even though they don't even have a path. They would believe that they knew how to do everything better than you, even though they haven't put the time, they haven't put the energy. They would essentially sabotage your energy because they don't have the same energy as you do. They're a fraud. They're someone that is, again, is surface, where Spirit says again, you have the power to fulfill your own dreams. The will of the Almighty supports you. And why? Because you're in the energy of love. It's your creation. This is yours. And so, where Spirit's saying, your life is showered in divine light and your heart opens to the power of the universe, that, again, believe. Don't wind up in a codependent connection. This person is extremely codependent, and they would have you believing that they're the person that's strong after a while because of their narcissistic energy. And that's what you know. And that's why this person's sad now, because they see what they're missing out on. But, the divine always sees everything. And when you're in the light, which you were, because again, that's what why this person all of a sudden wants to come back. Well, the divine protects you and protects you because saw that you didn't abandon yourself, that you're on your path. So no one can take what's yours, only you do. By you being with this person, again, that would be forfeiting what's yours. They wouldn't get it, but they would sabotage your life and then not want to be with you anyway because they're liking the entire package. But only how is it going to benefit them? Because, hey, they didn't want to give you anything. They thought, well, I'm going to play it this way, which is controlling. So now they're going to come back and they're going to pretend to play it another way, but they already exposed themselves. And that's what you know. And that's what they know that you know. And that's why they're upset. I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.